Hello, friends. Welcome back to 1D10T Does Stuff. And I'm the 1D10T in charge, Trevor Stewart 1308. Hey, Darth Dragonis in the chat. Great to see you. Much love. Always, always. And today is 1D10T Does Stuff, which means it's going to be emotionally heavy. We're going to do some emotional labor. Today's Bud is brought to you by the Hidden Leaf, downtown Charlottesville, on the Downtown Mall, 105 West Main Street, above the Bricks, Suite 200, between Green Cauldron and Hamilton. It's a great place to go with some great buds to get some great buds. And the only thing better than their bud is their customer service. And, and they have the lowest prices in town, according to my own personally highly biased research, by which I mean I was incredibly high when I did my biased research. Don't forget to check the website for times and events. The website is thehiddenleaf.cville.com. That's thehiddenleaf, CVILLE, all one word, .com. Note of disclosure, of course, the Hidden Leaf and our other sponsors, Kush Gang and Firehouse, are companies. They do not necessarily have opinions. We are an unopinionated bunch of people, and this will be both personally and politically opinionated time. Hi, Jasmine Crystal. Much love, much love. Glad to see you in the chat. Mwah. Let me do shout outs here. There we go. Starting with shouting out Darth Dragonis because, he's been my guy for as long as we've been friends. He's been by my side. Happy Taco Tuesday, Crystal. We're opinionated. This is all these companies don't necessarily share our opinions. Just to get that out of the way. Now, today's show, we will be getting to reading from some of Inflamed if we can. If we can get there. But we've got some other things to discuss up front. Things such as I just started my personal healing journey. I am taking my first terrified and tentative steps on the path of healing. I'm going to be very emotionally raw, especially on these days when we talk about difficult stuff. I'm not sorry that I'm going to be emotionally raw because this is who I am, which is why I'm here today in front of you without my mask on, without my makeup on, not hiding behind trying to tell you that I'm sad. I'm just going to say that I'm sad. I'm also happy because this healing journey I know. Oh my God. Why didn't y'all tell me I sounded so quiet? No, that's on me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to be relearning a lot of the processes of daily life. You know, I'm going to be relearning a lot of stuff. How to do a lot of things. Because, oh, jeez. Well, thank you. Then it's not at all on you, and it is completely on me. I was wrong. I'm going to be relearning how to do a lot of things in life. Without being high. I'm not saying I'm not smoking weed anymore. I mean, I'm gonna stop using other drugs to live my life. I'm not saying I'm gonna stop having fun, but I no longer feel the need to be high to face life. And maybe there are going to be times where I do need help, where I need the help of being high. There's nothing wrong with that. There is no moral failing in that. There's no moral failing in any of it. This journey is very difficult to go on. Especially, I feel like, this late in life. When you realize that it may not matter. My healing journey this late in life may not change anything at all. My father, Crystal. My father made me feel bad. And my mother. My mother made me feel bad. And all of the adults around them in my childhood made me feel bad. My former tribe made me feel bad. As an adult, my feelings are not their responsibility. As a child, my feelings were their responsibility. There should have been nothing more important than taking care of the life that they made. They don't need to be punished anymore. There's no punishment that can happen to them that will change anything. They are their own punishment now. And if they are not punishing themselves, then that's on them. That's not on us. Our job is not to fix them or to hurt them or to save their feelings. Our job is to heal ourselves and our friends and help us and our friends get through our journey. Just like you guys have been out there helping me get through my journey. Helping me get to my journey. My journey now is about helping the people that I have chosen to take responsibility for. Helping those friends and loved ones that I have let into my life. Because they are good people and deserve it. I no longer have the time or energy to heal bad people. Now is the time for us to concentrate on saving good people, on keeping good people from going bad, on keeping generational trauma from being passed down. On keeping generational inequities from being passed on. These are our jobs now. Thank you, Just Me Crystal. Big hugs. Big hugs. I will never define myself as a good or bad person. I do not hold the right to give myself that title. Each person who my life touches holds the right to make that decision about me for themselves, and to have that decision about me be respected. If someone does not like me, if they think I am a bad person, we must respect that. There are people who don't like me out there. There are people who think I am a bad person. There are people who will say terrible things about me, I'm sure. I respect that. Let them. Because to them, I am. I don't mean let them in any sort of dismissive way. I mean I mean, it's okay. It's okay for them to feel that. It's okay for me to be that in their eyes. I mean, also, haters gonna hate. You know, I mean, a lot of people who think I'm a bad person think I'm a bad person because I represent something bad in them that they can't square with. But also, there are people out there who think I'm a bad person because I have harmed them and I have wronged them. And I don't want to hide from that. I don't want to bury my head in the sand and say, no, I'm perfect. Everything bad I ever did is because I was a bad person before this. No. There are people out there who I have wronged, who I have hurt. To whom I am a bad person, and it is valid. Trying to do better every day is all we can do, Crystal. I don't want to say like, oh, we now have to be paragons. All we can do is try. All we can do is do the best we can every day. But what makes us adults is owning it when we make a mistake. Owning it to ourselves. Even if we're not owning it to anyone else, although we should be. We should be owning it to them too. Should always try to make amends. Even if you can't. Even if there's no point. Even if it's too late. You should always try. And you should do it without the expectation of ever being forgiven. I don't know how to go back and right my wrongs. That's fair. You can disagree. I don't, this is from my own personal space. Like, this is how I feel about apologies. Personally. I don't know how I'm going to be able to go back and really make amends for my wrongs in the past, because they are so far in the past that I don't know what to do about it. I've settled with that my soul may be damned for that. I'm willing to accept that, even though I don't want to not try to do something. What I can say is, though, where I have done better than the generation before is that I saw my mistake. I saw my mistake and I did better. I stopped doing it. I didn't do. It was like don't. You know what the easiest way not to do something bad is? It's to not do it. The things that are truly morally wrong, we know they're morally wrong. If we are good people, we know they are wrong. And so the easiest way to not do it is to not do it. I don't see lying as a moral failure. I see it as an ethical failure. I also see it as a self-preservation tactic. If someone's lying in order to commit a crime, why are they committing the crime? Not why are they lying? Why are they committing the crime? If they're lying to take something from you, why do they need to take that? The lying is secondary. That part of it is a symptom, not the problem. I do agree with you. I do feel, Darth Dragonis, that 7 years back, and once you go 7 years back, you are a new person. I do agree, but I'm not going to let myself off the hook. I may be a whole new person, but the person that did those evil deeds is not off the hook. That person, that past me, is not off the hook. I'm not punishing present me. And I'm trying to not punish future me for the actions of past me. But I think that present me and future me can be better and heal from the actions of past me. Does that help explain what I mean? I do want to apologize on behalf of my father. Not on behalf. In his stead. Because I know he will never be able to come and say this. That's very wise, Brock. That's part of my healing journey, I think. I think that may be part of my healing journey. Brock says it feels like I'm allowing my past to hurt my present. And if there's nothing I can do, then I should let it go. And I think squaring with that is part of my healing journey. You know? It's hard to tell what your healing journey is until you're there and doing it. And it's hard to know where the wisdom of your healing journey is going to come from until you are on it and in the moment. We are stronger as a community and as a tribe And we should strive to be there for each other. I don't want to apologize for my father or on behalf of my father. I want to say that I have a deep, deep empathy for what the world has lost because of him. As I look honestly at my life and the amount of good that I have been able to do in the world, and know that that has been limited because I have been doing so much extra emotional labor for my parents, that I feel like the world is owed an apology for what I have not been able to do for it. For the potential that I had that was lost. I am only capable of being what I am. And I accept that. But I also mourn for what could have been. Wisdom comes from pain. Yeah. Maybe not 100%, but a majority. Yeah. Well, yeah. If the parents of the world has spent more time Okay, Brock, thank you. Enjoy your lurk. If the parents of the world had spent more time concentrating on being better parents, if they had spent more time concentrating on doing better by their children, I think we wouldn't be where we are. Humans are not innately bad or evil. We are taught these things. Maybe we are innately slightly greedy, but we're better than that. We can learn to be better than that. Almost all of the human condition is not innate. It is learned. It is forced on us by our environment. So maybe if we spent more time working on ourselves and our relationships with our families and our close loved ones, maybe the world wouldn't need fixing. And the thing is, maybe we're past the point of fixing it. Maybe we're past the point of no return. I don't know. Maybe it's so broken that there's no doing better. And maybe all we can do now is work on ourselves and our relationships with our families and our loved ones. So that we can be right with us and God by the time the world ends. I mean that God in a very broad sense. I mean all of our gods. All of us. All the pantheons. All of them. Get right with your creator. Get right with your soul and get right with your creator. Just me, Crystal? I doubt that you have any work to do to get right. Something tells me deep down inside you're already right with your soul and your creator. And what you need to do now is realize that. That's. I don't know your life, Crystal. But I have a feeling that you've been the type of person who doesn't need to actually get right. Some of us spend so much time trying to make up for imagined sins that we don't realize that we have nothing, there's nothing wrong with us. All you can do, Crystal, is work on it daily. And it's okay to be negative. It's okay to fall back into negative patterns. It's okay to it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay. It's not a moral failing. Oh. Oh. I hear a voice of a baby Z. I will be back momentarily, everybody. We are going into a be right back scream. Yeah. What? Hi. Duh. Duh. Hi. No, 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 baby. We aren't coming to play in here. Yeah. Come on. Let's go back up front, okay? Baby. No, 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 no. We're not playing in the bathroom right now. Papa. No, 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 no. We're not playing in my room either. Oh, we're going over here. Is this what we're doing? Thank you for your patience, friends. Honestly, something more important came up. The baby wanted my attention. And I love you guys. You guys are wonderful. I wouldn't be here without you. But the baby's more important. If the baby wants to play with me during stream takes a backseat. That's just how it is. And I am okay with that. There is no reason why anything in my life should be more important than spending time with him. There's nothing in my life that should be more important than spending time with him. So, thank you for your patience, and I hope you can understand that. You know, I do understand that I am in a very privileged position that I can do this. That I not only that I can do this, but that I can put this on hold for him. That is privilege. That is a lot of privilege. It shouldn't be. It should not be. Our world, our globe, is advanced enough that the survival of every single individual could be guaranteed. So that there could be nothing more important in the world than spending time with your family. Everything else could be a secondary priority to that now. But humans hate themselves and each other so much that they can't do it. Humans, present company excluded, hate themselves. By present company, I mean the two people in chat and a few other people that I know. Hate themselves and each other so much that they would rather see the world burn than spend time with their family. It bothers me that it bothers me that I feel it necessary to be here doing this right now. Jen needs sleep. Jen needs days of sleep. And I'm here preaching. I'm here preaching while she's trying to make it through out there. And it's not a moral failing on her part to be tired. It's not a moral failing on her part. There is no moral failing on her part. She is not a morally failed human being at all. And she never has been. And so it's not fair. It's not fair to her that I'm here yelling at the world right now instead of out there helping her do laundry and taking care of the kid. This is only a few hours out of my day to do this, by the way, to come yell at the world. It's only taking a few hours out of my day. But, God, those couple of hours, like, what could she be doing with those couple of hours, huh? And because I do not like yelling at the world, because I'm still doing my healing journey, there's a lot of time that I can't dedicate to her and the child because I have to dedicate it to me. Because I have to put this emotional labor into myself so that I don't pass on the trauma to the child. I'm still doing my parents' emotional labor. I'm doing it now for myself. Because I have to do it for myself. I cannot try to be a better person for the child, for the child's sake. That does not work. I have to be a better person for my own sake. And give that gift to the child. There's no do it for the kid. Because that puts responsibility on him. He has no... Why should he have to take responsibility for anything, dude? He's a year and a half. He's a year and a half. He has no... He's not responsible for anything yet. What he is responsible for now is for beginning to learn to use a potty. But the responsibility for teaching him isn't on him. He's not owed... Well, no, he's owed those lessons. He doesn't owe us to learn them. His life will be much easier if he does. His life in the long run will be easier if he learns to do these things. But it doesn't... He's a year and a half. How does he know how to take responsibility for anything? And I'm only just starting to learn to take responsibility for myself. Just now. I'm almost 50 years old. And I'm just now learning how to take responsibility for myself. There's so many technical aspects of it that I'm never going to learn. There's so many technical aspects of this that are just going to be so far beyond me. Because it's been so long. Um, I've heard a lot. I've heard often, I've heard people say, you're not owed anything. And that is not true. It is not true. The universe doesn't owe you anything. Other people don't owe you anything. But the people who brought you into this world owe you taking responsibility for you. They owe you that. You don't owe them that. They owe you teaching you how to take responsibility for yourself. You don't owe them knowing it or learning it. They owe you teaching it, giving you that gift of self-responsibility. And once you're given responsibility for yourself, moralizing about your judgment calls is moot. Understanding them is helpful. But moralizing them isn't. I, uh, I could sit here philosophizing about this all day, I suppose. I could sit here being didactic and giving this lecture. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna save my energy on this because this is gonna be an ongoing thing, I think. I really was hoping that my parents would have found a way into the stream, into the chat, just to hear me, just to try to take part in my life. But they are continuing to show me what their priorities really are, and I'm not among them. So now I am putting that aside and I am going to move on with my life. If they find themselves here, then they're here. If they hear my words, then they hear my words. Otherwise, they've had their time with me. And they've used it how they saw fit. I am going to take another very quick break because I need a cigarette. And I am still refusing to smoke cigarettes on screen. You will see that the nature and the flow of my streams is going to change a little bit. I'm going to be a lot kinder to myself about how much energy I have per segment, per amount of time. I'm not going to push myself to run long on a segment longer than I need to run. If I need a cigarette, I'm going to take a cigarette break. I would be smoking pre-rolls instead of cigarettes right now. But there has been something in the grind on this last run of pre-rolls. I think some of the product was a little too fresh. And so it's been resin clogging. This entire run of pre-rolls has been resin clogging. Still, great bud. And to the credit of the shop, when I said something, they listened. They did not have an emotional reaction. They did not treat me like I was some sort of jerk for bothering to bring it up. They made me feel heard. They took my input seriously. They did not dismiss me or invalidate me. They made it very easy for me to talk to them, with them, discuss it, without it being a problem. There did not have to be any hurt feelings. There were no hurt feelings, at least on my end. And I would feel, if I found out that I hurt their feelings, I would feel terrible. I would find another way to tell them. I would find a different way of approaching them and giving them feedback. This is what a healthy relationship with another human can look like. I'm going to let that sink in while I smoke a cigarette during this ad break. Heathens and infidels, be damned. Liars! Liars, thieves, heathens and infidels, be damned. Liars!
Had all the life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rings. The first thing I met was a fly with a buzz and the sky with no cloud. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. Heading through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't nobody for to give you no pain. La 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 After 2 days in the desert sun, my skin began to turn red. After 3 days in the desert fun, I was looking at a riverbed. And the only story that it told was a river that flowed. Made me sad to think it was dead. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't nobody for to give you no pain. La 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 After 9
Thank you for bearing with me while I did that little bit of self-soothing. Just sort of dealing with feels, you know. And when you deal with feels, you do need some self-soothing. You need something that makes you feel good. And cigarettes still make me feel good. And I think they always will. There is a comfort in them for me. There's a comfort in the taste. There's a comfort in the smell. There's a comfort in the feel. There is self-soothing involved there. It's not good because it's going to put me at a distance from baby Z later on in life. And at some point he may look at me and ask, were cigarettes more important than me? And I'll have to square with that. I think if I can get down to a very, very few cigarettes at a time, I hope that they won't be. But if he ever asks me to quit, I will. And I won't quit for him. I'll quit for me. Because he's worth it. He's worth giving up a little bit of my self-soothing for. And not even, it's not even worth, he's worth not doing it for him, but doing it for me. He's worth me doing it and not holding him responsible. My cigarette smoking is not his responsibility. So my quitting is not his responsibility. It's mine. I don't know if I ever will. But I'm willing to put the effort into always trying. To always trying to cut back and be better. I hope that by teaching him that it's not a moral failing, that he will understand that it's not a moral failing. But I cannot be angry at him if he does not understand that. I don't want him to smoke cigarettes. And for that reason alone, I shouldn't be doing it around him or in front of him. On the other hand, he's a black child, a black male child, growing up in a world that is ending and is still trying to kill off black men. I can't begrudge him a little self-soothing. I can't hold him. I could never be angry at him for needing self-soothing. He's got to grow up with a whole different level of antagonism than I did. And because of that, all of the things that I could have done differently with myself, all of these little things, like maybe I didn't need cigarettes and drugs and alcohol like I had them, you know? If I'd have had the basic love and care I needed, maybe I wouldn't have needed to medicate away the pain. But even with the basic care and love that he needs, the world is not going to be nice to him. And I'm old. I'm going to be too old to fight the world when it's not kind to him. I'm going to be too old to take up arms in his defense. I'm still going to try. Going to constantly try. But I have to face that not only am I old, I've run this body into the ground. I don't know how it's still kicking. I've spent the past 50 years trying to destroy this body, trying to break the only good thing that my parents ever built, because they didn't deserve to build something good. So I don't know how this body is going to make it for the next 30 years to help him get there. But this body will make it for as long as it will. And this body, this strong body, and very strong mind, will be here for that boy, for that man, when he becomes a man, or woman, or person. And I will continue to be here for his mother. For the most amazing person I've ever met. I'm truly blessed to have them in my life. I am absolutely terrified that if I keep saying good things, they will be taken away from me. I should not have to live with that fear. Nor should they. Appreciating what you have should never put what you have in danger. We can be blessed with life. Life can be a blessing and a gift. It does not have to be a curse and a punishment. Some of us are not given the choice. Some of us are born into bodies or families, circumstances that are a curse. And for those of us find our way out of that, we should do everything in our power to help those of us who aren't. But remember what your priorities are. It's not worth saving the world if you lose your family. This is a, like I said, this is a heavy one today. Heavy. I really want to lighten it up here with something, but it's been really hard for me to be lighthearted right now. It's hard for me to continue to be the comedian. And to find the jokes and the laughs right now. I know they're there. And I know this because my heart is still full of joy. I'm just having a hard time being funny. I'm having to very much rely on funny input. Been watching some lighthearted comedies and stuff, and it's felt good. I think the lesson there is, you know, when it is too heavy, feel free to take a minute and lighten up. Ooh. I do want to apologize. I know I've been increasingly manic on these streams lately. I've I've been increasingly worryingly manic. Not just this stream, but on all of them. And I'm not sorry that that's what has been happening to me. I'm sorry for me. I'm not sorry to y'all that I've been going through that. What I am sorry for is putting you all through the worry of seeing me go manic. Putting anyone else through the worry of having to watch me go through what I've gone through. It's not fair. It's not fair to have to sit back and watch somebody go crazy. And I'm not going to apologize for being me, but I am going to say I'm sorry that I had to do it publicly, for one. I guess I don't know if I had to do it publicly, but I feel like that's the only way I could get their attention. If I kept going crazy quietly, there would be no reckoning. They would never have seen it. When I say be good to each other, it should not be a mystery as to what I mean. When I say be good to each other, it should be easy to figure out. But it's not. It's not, is it? It is not easy for you guys to figure out. And of course, again, present company excluded. I mean, all of the rest of you. It's not easy for you to figure out how to be good to each other, is it? You just don't understand basic kindness and basic humanity. You people did not learn from kindergarten the most basic set of life skills. And nobody learned them. Why should the next generation bother saving the planet that you broke? Why should they bother taking care of any of you? Why? Why should they? Who among you has earned being taken care of? Who among you has earned living on a planet? Who among you has earned the right to be in society? Who among you is earning your place in society every day? If you can honestly look at the mirror and say that you are, if you can honestly say that, then good for you. Good. Good. Keep doing it. Keep being that person. I've been talking a lot about praxis. About going out there and building a better world. I'm not sure I have the spoons for praxis. I'll get around to doing that for them after I do for mine. After I put the emotional labor into my family. If I have the energy, I will put the emotional labor into other people, into the rest of the world. But my family, my people, my tribe deserve my emotional labor now. I'm sorry your phone had a connect. I'm glad you're back. I do think that putting a little bit of emotional labor into the world in the form of this, and in the form of these shows, and in the form of continuing to try to entertain, I think that's fair. I think I have the emotional bandwidth to do that. But I don't know how much emotional bandwidth I have past taking care of my people. I don't know that I have the emotional bandwidth to save the rest of the world. And the rest of the world is just going to have to put up with getting what's left over of my energy after my friends and my family and my loved ones. After those people get my energy, the rest of the world can have what's left over. After my tribe is taken care of, after my tribe gets my emotional labor, then I can help the rest of the world. And who's helping me? Who's putting emotional labor into me? My tribe. That's a beautiful thing. My tribe has been putting emotional labor into me my entire life. As lonely and alone as I have felt, I have had a small, most of my life, not all of my life, but most of my life, I've had a small but dedicated tribe who have shared the emotional labor of taking care of each other throughout each other. Maybe sometimes I've felt like I haven't had my tribe around me to help. But they've always come back to me. They've never let me go. My tribe has never lost sight of me. Even if they thought they did, they didn't. My tribe has my back and I have theirs. And that's how this works. And we can make our tribes bigger. They don't have to be small. The bigger your tribe is, the more people there are to share the emotional labor. The easier that gets for all of us. And eventually, if we can make the tribe big enough, survival won't be a question. And the emotional labor won't be labor. It will be play. All of a sudden, what we see as emotional labor will no longer be difficult. We will enjoy it. We will enjoy this world, this beautiful and amazing world that we live on and in. There are so many beautiful things in this world. Touching grass is beautiful. And yet we have to remind each other to do it at the end of every stream. We should not have to. We should not have to remind each other to touch grass. Enjoy nature. We shouldn't have to remind each other to enjoy anything. It should be a matter of course. I live in a world, in a universe that is filled with magic and beauty. I want you all to live here with me, or in your own version, in your own universe, filled with beauty and magic. Because it's there. It really is there. It's out there. Pain is inevitable. Unfortunately, it is a part of living. Loss is inevitable. I don't know if anything lasts forever. But almost everything is temporary. Almost everything is, was, and will be, and is both here and now and isn't. But from our perspective, because light has a speed limit, that gives time an arrow. And that means that to our view, from our perspective, everything is temporary. Which means that we have to put up with loss. But it's okay. Losing something doesn't invalidate the beauty of it having existed. It's okay to lose things. It's okay to die. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no need to be afraid. Yes, pain hurts. And no, none of us want to go through pain. But there's no reason to fear it. And there's no need why it should control us. My friend Amber lived her brief and beautiful life in amazing amounts of physical pain because her body was just broken. It didn't work right. But she didn't also have to live with emotional pain. She didn't need to live both physically hurting and emotionally hurting. But she did. She lived a very brief life that was filled with torture, anguish, fear and pain. And she still brought beauty and joy into my life. She still helped me. How amazing is that? She died from toxic acidosis. She died because she was allergic to herself. There's no reason for it. There's no rhyme, no reason, no just cause. But she didn't have to die feeling like only 2 people ever loved her. That wasn't because her body was broken. That was because our world is broken. There's no way I can fix the physical pain that my friends live with. Almost all of my friends, by the way. Almost all of them live with some sort of awful physical pain. The ones that don't live with awful emotional pain. The ones that do, I mean, the ones that have physical pain also have emotional pain. Let's be realistic. It's not like they got away from the emotional pain and just have to deal with physical pain. No. Almost all of my friends have so much both physical and emotional pain. But the physical pain well, the emotional pain isn't necessary. Emotional pain isn't why hurt people who are in pain? My healing journey isn't going to be able to answer that question. I'm never going to understand why. This is not for me to understand. It's not for me to understand why people are born into physical pain. It's not for me to understand why humans are evil. What it is for me to do is for me to offer to do the best I can for those around me. And that being said, I don't think we're going to actually get to reading today. You know, I've been crying at the screen for close to 2 hours now. And I think that there is possibly a beautiful baby boy that, if he's taking a nap right now, when he wakes up, may want my attention. And I think his mom may want to go get out of the house and ride around for a little while. And I think it may be good to do that. So, I'm going to leave you with these words of wisdom from Darth Dragonis, from Brock. The only thing you owe to other people is space and understanding. You owe yourself everything. Thank you, Darth Dragonis. The Brock of wisdom in my life. Thank you, Just Me Crystal. Your kindness, your love and support is amazing. And thank you to all the watchers and lurkers. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. I would even say that being good to each other is something we owe ourselves. Don't be good to other people if they aren't good to you, but wow. But also be the change you want to see in the world, huh? I don't know. I'm fresh out of platitudes, guys. I've been doing this for almost 50 years. And I am running short on platitudinal wisdom. Thank you for joining me. It has been difficult and painful and a pleasure. Until next time, as I say around here, 2 up, 2 down. VA, double deuces. I'm out, y'all. Oh, stick around for the raid. I'm hopefully going to get to remember to do this right this time.